going places that I've never been.
I've heard that Mount Morgan has the best pies in the outback. In fact, they're award-winning as voted by Best Bakery in Australia awards. Now this I've got to try.
Well, all that museum rummaging has made me absolutely famished. And Gwen said to me, you must go up the hill and you're going to see a bakery, and it's an award-winning bakery, which it is, and it's the Mount Morgan Bakery. And in here you're going to find the nicest pies, and you should see their sweet range. Oh, bon appetit.
If you're short on time but want to learn more about this historic town, then hopping on board the TMC tour bus is a really great way of seeing the sights.
In 1882, three brothers, the Morgans, pegged it out, registered that as their mining claim, named it Mount Morgan, hence the name of our town, by 1890. And 1910, our town hit the peak of population. We had about 15,000 people at the peak. We are now 5 times smaller. And today, no mining.
Next stop is the open cut mine, which is only accessible through the tour.
Now, this is a bit of a different view from where we were before.
It is. This is the open cut. Now, this is where the miners dug, got the copper, the silver, the gold out. So when you come up here, it's a real eye-opener because a picture doesn't do its justice. You've got to be here and seeing it. And what you can see right there is the open cut that they mined, full of water and backfill. And then you've got this sparkling rock, especially that big one in front of us, that's your iron pyrite, the sulfides. Fool's gold. So, as they say, is it all that glistens is not gold? It's right. Sadly, it's not the real stuff. There could be gold amongst some of the large rocks, and we'll even have a look at some you can hold. They're pretty heavy, but you can't see the gold with the naked eye here on this mine site.
I'm intrigued to know more about what life was like for a miner, and you couldn't have picked a more perfect place to bump into someone who used to work right here in this very place.
You know, if you could ever find a true diamond in the rough, well, today's a lucky day for us. I've found one. In fact, I found a nugget. There we go. This is Barry Lawrence. He used to work here at the mine. Tell us about those. Well, actually, first, let's just take a look at this.
Yeah.
This is what you used to work for.
That's what we used to pour. Gold, but they were 15-kilogram nuggets we'd pour out in ingots.
So what did you actually do?
Well, I started off in the mill, in number 1 mill, and just as a labourer. And then my brother-in-law, he was the head metallurgist here. And in the later years, in 1982, he gave me a job in the gold room, where we used to pour the gold from the tailings plant. I started on the dredges and then I went into the gold room, yeah.
And so it worked your way up?
Yeah.
You also worked in the crushers?
Yeah, I was on the crusher that was the early years. When I left school, I come and worked on the crushers.
What is it that holidaymakers love most about coming to Mount Morgan? You know, you can't just go to Rocky and drive past this
And I think that's why, you come in, you have that quiet lifestyle. They love it because they can just park the caravan, jump on a tour, go to the dam, all these spots, because it's so relaxed and quiet. You find out first, or you do the drive-through. And driving through on the highway, they don't realise what's outside the area, coming up on the tour to find this. So when they are told about it, they come through about 38 k's out of Rockhampton, come to Mount Morgan, and from there you take it to other locations leading to other spots. So it's a nice quiet spot. They like that relaxed lifestyle, coming for a holiday, a little retreat, having a look here, going all through the town, away from that hustle and bustle of the city.
So what was it like the moment you saw this shiny stuff?
It wasn't really like that because it was all in these big rocks you see that were sitting on here. They used to go through the crusher and then they'd use a flotation plant to go through floats, and the gold would stay to the bottom there, and that's what we treated. Yeah.
What was how tough was it working in those days?
Well, the shift work I didn't like very much. It was day shift, afternoon shift, night shift, and it's pretty hard getting out of bed at 11 o'clock to come to work at night. But we used to have a little sleep. We all did that. It wasn't that hard, really.
And what about anything that a bit of a nightcap to get a good night's sleep?
Yeah, we used to have a few of them. As you do, as a miner.
Next on the agenda is the rare opportunity to search for the 150 million year old prehistoric dinosaur footprints, which are right here in the Mount Morgan Clay Caves. Celebrated as some of the best examples of Jurassic footprints in Australia, the caverns were man-made by miners for fire brick clay.
Different sizes, but those two species, so you can tell they're not monstrous, but big enough for their time. I wouldn't want to cross these guys if I was here at that time.
While Heike is busy captivating everyone with her knowledge about these magnificent caves, I got to speak to the man who came up with the idea for the tour.
John, what a fantastic tour. I imagine, you'd never ever get tired of coming here.
You're spot on. It's a great feeling, I suppose, to have the daughters on board to actually be part of the family business.
And what brought you here? I know that Heike said that you bought a home, but why did you bring the family here? Why Mount Morgan?
Well, that's a good question. 28 years ago we bought a house here, myself and a young family. Houses were cheap, and actually one of the grandparents lived here. And it was a central location. I was in a government job, and this was basically on the relief, and it was pretty central. And it's a spot-on good town. It was a good move.
What do you love most about doing this, about sharing this with people that come to visit Mount Morgan?
Yeah, well, Mount Morgan is, in history, it's enormous for the region, let alone, and also Queensland, with the amount of gold that came out here, but the historic and the heritage, and it's so diverse. And even the paleontology importance, plus down at that mine there of the rehabilitation that's going on. So, it's important. We consider that we show what we've got, and to do it professionally. As you can see, the guides on board, Heike, my daughter, she does a wonderful job. And plus, Mount Morgan is, I suppose, we call it the centre of the universe up here.
Well, love, this is my life. But I suppose we better get up there and do this next one. And we're going
to do a quick stir fry, very simple. Chicken fillets, boykin noodles, stir fry veggies, and some Chinese style tofu, or maybe an onion too. We'll stir fry it and it'll be ready in no time. Very quick and easy, this one, just in the wok. And I'm going to cut the chicken up while the wok's heating up. Just cut them into little strips.
Right, Marion, well, that's the chicken all browned off. Okay. It's time to brown the onions off.
The tofu, break them up, and also add that beautiful flavouring. It's coming together nicely. Look how gorgeous that is. Time for the chicken. Is the hoisin sauce.
Well, Marion, what an absolute treat. How about I get a couple of plates and we'll serve this wonderful dish up.
Here we are, my lord.
Thank you, darling. It's wonderful at my age what my entitlements are.
Chicken stir fry with noodles.
Magnificent. Thank you very much.
Going places that I've never been.
Camp Cooking was brought to you by Dreampot.